They invited someone, she is a lesbian. This is the France, the ones who insulted Jesus. You remember? Whoever will be in their TV, they have to be an antichrist. They have to be an anti-Israel. They have to be lefty. He have to be LGBTQ. He have to be open border. This is the garbage of a France 24. No surprise that they are calling her every 2 seconds. From all the Israeli, they choose someone to bash Israel. Piece of garbage.
Buildings that were hit earlier this morning. It is 7:10 a.m. right here.
Ayatollah Khamenei, Israel revealed its evil nature. More Tehran every by striking residential area. You see, the Iranian, they did not strike civilian at all. Only 90% of Syria is demolished. They never, Hezbollah was shelling Israel houses, but they don't target civilians. No, you know. Hezbollah kidnapped many Christian priests. During the war in Lebanon, even Christian nuns, and they slaughter them, they assassinate them. Many Christians, they go to the airport, they never go homes because Hezbollah kidnapped them in the way when they are going home. And this filthy scumbag Shia terrorist organization, they claim that they are the ethic people in the world. The most filthy, trashy people ever. I want to see if I can get another source of news, but there's nothing really. I mean, the whole world is asleep. You know, the whole world is asleep. Yeah, like even CNN. CNN is busy with destroying Los Angeles. They want to destroy Los Angeles. You know, they support America. They love America. They want to destroy Los Angeles only, and Seattle, and you know the rest of. Let us see if we say Israel news. Let us see. All right, here we have Times for Israel. So here it says Israel Wings of Zion official state plane takes off from Ben Gurion Airport. Wings of Zion? What is this airplane? Anyone knows what is this airplane? What is Wing of Zion mean? What do you mean by that? Is that like an airplane for the Prime Minister, or? I'm not sure what this have to do. Period to Iran, the drone attack. Yeah, I'm not sure. Israeli airstrike target 3 military sites in Iran northeast, state media says. So yeah, they are targeting military, not only the nuclear facility, obviously, which is the right thing to do. Israel has so far carried out 5 waves of strikes in Iran, military official says. Report Iran military chief Bagheri killed in airstrike. Bagheri is dead? No! Please! I like Bagheri. I mean, from all the Abduls of the terrorists of Iran, you go after Bagheri. I mean, just like Bagheri for me. Why? Why you do that? Unbelievable. Here we go. Bagheri is dead. What we will do without Bagheri? Is that even fair? Why? Huh? But Gary is gone. Can you believe it? Any more news? Okay, there's nothing. Let us refresh the page. Yeah, there's nothing yet here. Iran state media, IRGC. Okay. Chief killed. Netanyahu says operation will continue as long as needed. Very, very good. If we don't act now, there will not be another generation. Report Mossad carried out sabotage. Operation IDF says heavy missiles attack could come soon. All right. Witkoff said to warn Iranian response to Israel strike could lead to a mass casualty. I don't think so. I mean, Trump is very funny. Trump says I don't want to, Israel to attack Iran, but strike could very well happen. What the heck that mean? It's like somebody saying, leave Britney alone. Oh, yeah. Oh. Ah, Lord have mercy. Let us go back here and see. The same women again. I mean, what's wrong with those TV stations? They have nothing there. There's no more Israeli attack. Ayatollah Khamenei. Warren regime must expect severe punishment. Just potato. Watch your mouth. They can wipe the floor with you. They can nuke you. In fact, if the Iranian, they hit and they hurt Israel in a bad way, let us say the Israeli could not stop one of the missiles and they hit a very, let us say, and they killed like a big number of Israeli. That will be a very bad news to Iran. I advise you to send your missiles to fall down in empty locations. This is Kenya. Yeah, looks like things is bad in Kenya too. All right. We will see what will happen, later. But I'm sure the Israeli are ready for whatever the Iranian. They are calculating their numbers very well. I wasn't expecting like Euronews to be closed from their life. Even BBC are not on. Isn't it weird? They sleep really? They are.
A much fiercer
They are.
barrage of
They are on. BBC is on. I checked them an hour ago. They were off. Let us see the BBC babbling. The Babylon BBC. The most hippie, stupid TV station.
And more equally importantly, if it decides to do so, where it will attack those facilities. Iran is probably unlikely to want to draw the Gulf states, Saudi Arabia, and the UAE and other Gulf states into this conflict. But it has not excluded attacking U.S. military facilities in those countries. And of course, it has a variety of asymmetric options, even though its axis of resistance, groups like Hezbollah, have been severely,
we'll have to see how that plays out,
weakened.
James. So we'll leave it there for now, though. Thanks very much for your thoughts, as always. Good to speak with you. James Dorsey, Senior Fellow with the S. Rajaratnam School of International Studies. Now, the crisis in the Middle East is sending oil prices surging. Let's cross straight to our reporter here in our newsroom, Katie Silva, with more on the market reaction. Katie, what are we seeing?
Well, so far, Steve, we've seen oil trading significantly up. Both Brent crude and NYMEX now up around about 9%. At one point, it was up to 11% up. Now, all of this comes because we're seeing increased fears when it comes to the global supply. We must remember about 30% of global energy comes from the Middle East region, 5 of the top 10 oil-producing countries all there, as well as the fact that we're seeing this potential conflict in the Strait of Hormuz, which of course Iran is part of the border there, and that connects the Gulf with the Arabian Sea. About a fifth of oil goes through that passage every single day. Now, one analyst I've been speaking with says that part of this is about a correction, that the market had been underpricing the price of oil, basically.
Those prices are fake because simply, why the price will increase for something nothing happened yet? Because is the oil supply changed? So those companies, they take advantage of any news to make it a reason to explain why they are increasing the price. Because the oil they are pumping right now is something they bought 6 months ago. And the oil we'll receive tomorrow, the price for it will not change. Because simply the contract for it is signed already few months ago. So why they are increasing the price? They are thieves. They find any opportunity to rip the consumers off. Mafia, Why the price will go up? What happened? The oil is running, and even if the war erupt, still the oil can go through, because Saudi Arabia have more than one access to the sea. What does this have to do with Iran now? Iran cannot stop oil coming from Saudi Arabia. They cannot. They can even import oil through Oman, not only through Saudi Arabia. But they make any excuse to make money from the pocket of people.
Concerned that Iran will retaliate by attacking either Israel or American targets that really could lead to a major escalation in the fighting. And
guys, if you look at the body movement of this person, I don't know what he eat. Thank God he stopped moving. Man. Oh boy.
Well, I think that if this leads to a suspension of Iranian oil exports, we could see oil prices rise from yesterday's settle between $5 and $7.50 a barrel. The greatest fear in the oil market is that Iran starts attacking softer oil targets throughout the region, ultimately impacting transiting through the Strait of Hormuz. And if that were the case, I would see oil prices at $100.
You're just a bunch of stupid. Because simply this is impossible. You know why? Because Iran is bankrupt, and they have to attack the oil resource on the Gulf. They will attack their oil too. So they will go bankrupt. So how that will help Iran anyway? It's just, look how he moved his head. Those are specialists in... They will not dare to attack Saudi Arabia and Emirat. Alone with Israel, they are shish kebab. Plus, the distance between those countries and Iran is very small. So if you shoot their oil refinery, they will shoot back your refinery. So how that will help Iran? They will never do that unless they are asking for suicide. All of this is just a stupid talk, have no meaning and no reasoning. Fear mongers. Let us see. This is Didi from Iranian TV.
Cross back over to one of my other guests.
What happened? What? The Iranian TV stopped working. Oh boy.
The holiday weekend, and people were preparing for actually a very big celebration that was planned in the Iranian capital for tomorrow, which is Eid al-Qadir. And of course, now with the tragic news, capital is now mourning, and the situation is just unacceptable and very chaotic. The first responders, like I said, are still busy trying to take things under control. So I'll be giving you some more information, Marzi, as soon as I receive more information myself.
All right, thank you, Gisun. Of course, the whole country is in mourning for what has taken place.
Their TV stopped working every 2 seconds. They are using the internet of the neighbors. Very topical. Eye in Africa? Okay, thank you. Our eye now in Iran. Hey, come on, Iran, fix the TV. Come on, we don't love. Don't do that.
Sana'a, we're talking about Beirut, and now we're talking about Tehran. Your thoughts this morning, Layla?
My condolences to the Iranian Republic, Iran Islamic Republic, and at the same time to the families of the martyrs, to the civilians and the fallen generals and scientists as well.
Yeah.
We did not expect this to happen. It is a really sad and devastating images to wake up to at 3:30 in the morning in Beirut, and we had been following on what was happening, and we feel your sadness, we feel it, because we were part of this whole war for the past 20 months.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we are dealing with the devil. It's not a
devil.
regular enemy. This is an enemy that's supported with the by the international community. It has impunity in terms of committing war crimes, crimes against humanity, and at the same time targeting innocent civilians while they're sleeping. Looking at the whole situation,
listen, the situation become complicated because they were sleeping. We, Hezbollah, we kill civilians when they are awake. See the difference? Those Israeli, they attack civilian who they are the head of the staff of the army general. He's a civilian. I mean, he was in his pajama. That make him civilian. The other general of the Al-Quds army, he was in his bikini. He was doing, drag queen. He was wearing a skirt of his wife. See the difference? Those Israeli, they kill civilians. We, Hezbollah, we don't kill civilians when they are asleep. We kill them when they are awake. We are not evil like those people. No way. Tell us more, tell us more.
Morning, while they are basically being hit by the enemy that the Americans are giving a green light, the Americans are waiting for any mistake to happen to take part in it. They have already given enough justifications for this war. They push the IEA.
They are not giving justification. You keep saying we want to eliminate you, we want to destroy you, we want to kill you all, and they did not give any justification. Hello? What is the justification you have for this attack? Isn't you keep saying for the last 50 years you want to kill every Jew? So? And you want to destroy Israel? And you want to rape our women? Yeah. And you want to burn us alive? All of us the same as Hitler did to us? And you asking me what is justification for this attack? Yes, what is the justification? Hey guys, if there's anyone is single, this Hezbollah female, she do mut'ah. Very cheap. very cheap, $10 maximum. You know, don't forget to buy her a hamburger like Mimi Hijab.
Back to the beginning of the Islamic Revolution, and of course, Imam Khomeini talked specifically back then the reality of what we're dealing with, whether we're talking about the Israeli regime or the Western regimes and how they were complicit, of course, in the war.
You know, they call them regime. When they are the dictator, nobody elect them. This is the Israeli regime, really. But as I know, they are elected. Do you have anyone is elected there? Huh? Like who is elected? regime.
Allegedly, or whatever, we were supposed to, Iran was supposed to be dealing with another round of these indirect talks on
Of course,
Sunday.
Just shut up, stupid Abdullah. Go. What are saying? What those people are saying?
And military installations in Iran. The sites of the strikes have not been identified, but black smoke was reported rising over Iran's main nuclear enrichment facility at Natanz. There are reports also of strikes on residential buildings in secure compounds housing military officers.
Yeah.
Iranian state media is reporting that the head of the paramilitary Islamic Revolutionary Guard, General Hossein Salami, was killed in one of the strikes.
Salami became
Also,
Salami.
two senior nuclear scientists. Here is Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu.
Nous avons frappé au cœur du programme d'enrichissement nucléaire iranien. Nous avons frappé au cœur du programme iranien d'armement nucléaire. Nous avons ciblé les locaux d'enrichissement à Natanz.
Potato. This is Francais or English. Isn't it? This is the English station of France. So why you are playing an audio in a French? Le pardon? Le idiot? Le mentor? Le French? Excuse me?
Israel, but there's clearly a sense it was coming.
Yeah, there was a sense it was coming because simply what we saw in the previous 48 hours is the US pulling out all its non-essential military personnel, the Brits also doing that, and indeed we did understand through what Donald Trump had been saying that he was not in favor of the strike, but he was clearly, passing the information that he knew something was potentially coming, something he could not prevent, because that was not what his decision. He made it quite clear publicly that he did not want to see these strikes take place. But yes, it was coming, and it's been in the making for months. If you actually look at what's been going on ever since the 7th.
A bunch of idiots. This decision is taken last Monday. Last Monday, 3 days ago or 4 days ago, this decision was made to attack Iran. So already Trump and the Minister of Defense of USA, they already met with the Israeli, they studied the plan, they knew about it, and this is why they were evacuating everybody for the last few days. They announced it only when the last airplane they were leaving from the Middle East, which means the process of moving American soldiers or families, not soldiers, sorry, like civilians, who they are in Iraq or in the embassy, people who they are not necessary to be there, for easier protection, they moved them already, and this process was going at least for 2 weeks. Today they announce it because simply they want to give, let us say, a clear conclusion to Iran that we are going to negotiate with you tomorrow, which something will not happen, to deceive them, to make them believe that we have a still negotiation, we are not done with you. So that will give them time to move all their civilians. Same time, that will give the Israeli the ability to act and surprise the Iranian, who they were thinking that this coming Sunday, still there is more negotiation. It was just a deception plan, war deception plan, done by America, USA, and Israel together. Trump, he knew that this is just a waste of time. He is keeping meeting them for the last almost 3 months, and they went nowhere. And the Iranian, they insist they want to get their uranium rich, no matter what kind of agreement they reach. So that gave him all the reasoning to let Israel do what they need to do. Israel keep asking him, we should do it now. We cannot wait. Trump, he insists he want to have a peaceful agreement. I'm so glad actually that Iran did not agree, because having Iran as a nuke country is extremely dangerous for the whole world, not only Israel. Those are mental people. I will not be surprised actually if they nuke even the Arab, their neighbors. They will do it. Why not?
This was very public. I mean, I knew this yesterday morning, so the Iranians knew it as well. Obviously, it's always difficult to know what's happening in back channels, but the fact of the matter is, we'll probably be seeing in hours to come the Americans, if there is a retaliation by the Iranians, quite rapidly we'll probably see the Americans aligning with Israeli interests, even though they didn't make the decision for this attack.
What do you mean?
James, and
I mean,
with us there, James. We'll go to.
you see, those people are really stupid. What do you mean they did not make decision? Who is the naive would think for a second that the American, they are not making decision with the Israeli? How stupid you are. What those people are talking about? There's no way Israel, they went to attack and they are not in total agreement with USA. This is why the American, they were, evacuating, because obviously them and the Israeli, they make a decision that go. If Israel, they knew America will not agree anyway, and they decide to do it, they will not even inform the American, because then the American, they says, don't, we will not allow you. They will act like a teenage who, okay, I'm going to do it anyway. Why I want to tell him? Why I want to tell my dad? They say stupid things,
Or supreme leader, commander-in-chief in this case is the supreme leader, who has to declare a warring situation and mobilize all the military wings to launch a military operation on Israel. And all of the military wings statements are emphasizing the fact that Israel will be the blood of these commanders that were killed will be avenged by Israel. And let's face it, Iran actually suffered a very serious blow in terms of the commanders that it lost.
And there are reports of high-ranking nuclear scientists being killed, but also particularly General Hossein Salami, the commander of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard. How significant a figure is General Salami?
Salami is very important.
He was the top IRGC official. He was a very significant commander in the IRGC.
Give me a break. I mean, here's a Salami. I mean, if there's no Salami in Europe, people will go hungry. They will starve. So General Salami is very important. Can you imagine the Iranian government without Salami? It's like imagining an Italian pizza without pepperoni or hammeroni or berlusconi, So Salami is very important. I mean, his mom, she called him Salami for what? There must be a reason, good reason. Why your parents will call you Salami? Like imagine you are born and your mom, she called you hamburger. It must be a good reason. We have to study what is behind this is all is like intelligence information. Salami is very important figure, yeah. Well, figure he don't make decision, you idiot. The decision all is made by the so-called the supreme leader. All those are just a TV figure. They cannot make this. They cannot even fart. All the regime is based on one person. The one they call him the supreme leader. He is the one who hired the president. He is the one who fired him. He is the one who killed him. Who is the one who put him in jail? He is the one who hired judge. He is the one who destroy, who kill, who give a gift. He is this why they call him supreme leader. And then they say to you, Salami is very important person, Yeah, Salami.
He conducted with the attendance of the Iranian supreme leader ordinarily, these sessions are not conducted in the presence of an Iranian supreme leader. The last time I remember this session was held was when Iran wanted to plan its response over the killing of Ismail Haniyeh, Hamas's political chief in Tehran, in August. So I think this signals a military response from Tehran, and we assume that this military response will come soon, because this cannot be overlooked, as it was stated in the army's statement. This is a crime, this is an atrocious crime that cannot be overlooked. The army will not be hesitating, it is just waiting for a green light from Ayatollah Khamenei.
Thank you very much for that, Saeed. I'll ask you to just stay on the line there. I'll bring in James Andre again. James, this happened at a time when there had been charges in the West in particular that Iran was close to developing a nuclear bomb, certainly a lot closer than it has been in the past. And yet the Trump administration had tried to get Iran to the table. It did actually get Iran to the table, and yet those talks stumbled. Is this a bit of a setback for Washington?
Well, the thing is, it's a setback for Donald Trump, who quite clearly stated that he did not want to see this attack take place, and that what he wanted to see was diplomacy and to strike a new deal. He considered the GCPOA, which was the previous deal that was negotiated back in 2015, was basically cancelled by Donald Trump during his first administration. He also always considered that deal was a terrible deal, that he said many times. But the Europeans remain committed to that deal for...
I just received information that the Israeli army attacked Iran refinery. All right? But I cannot confirm. We have to wait to see if they will, any side, they confirm that the Israeli attacked the Iranian oil refinery. Yeah, that would be very painful for Iran, actually, because this is all where their money is coming from. Let me see if I can find any confirmation, if such a thing can be confirmed.
The question, Mark, is what will the Iranians do now? And what are their options? If you actually think about it, it's true, Marco Rubio says, do not attack any American interests or we will retaliate. We were not part of this decision. But the fact of the matter is, and the Iranians know this full well, the Americans will fall in line and help defend Israel in the case they do attack with any strength. So they might choose to consider that these were American-made weapons, for example, and decide to target American bases. Obviously, that's always a possibility. But what is more probable is that, this first wave of attacks, and we have now, I think, 3 rounds of bombardments that have been taking place, have definitely degraded Iran's capabilities. Because we've seen what the Israelis have been able to do over the past few months when it came to Hezbollah, for example. The targeting of Hezbollah, and I was covering that for France 24 at the time, was very impressive. They hit all over the country. They managed to destroy most of the weapons depots. At the end of the day, the CIA considered before the Israeli attacks on Hezbollah that Hezbollah had 150,000 missiles and rockets. At the end of the day, they were not able to retaliate in any meaningful way on Israeli soil, especially given Israel's very, very potent anti-missile systems. The question is now, after the raids we've seen this morning, how much of Iran's arsenal is actually still operational? Their commands...
I receive news, but I cannot confirm, that the Israeli, they moved many Israeli civilian airplanes from their airport all the way to Cyprus. So they are expecting that Iran will shoot missiles trying to hit Israeli airports. So they are moving Israeli civilian airplanes all the way to Cyprus. But again, we need to confirm, like this is what I received, but I need to confirm if this is accurate, Yeah, if the Israeli attack really the refinery of Iran, that means Israel is not just seeking to hit and just, obviously they are seeking devastating situation for Iran. Because this country without oil, they have nothing. They'll go bankrupt. So possibly the plan is bigger than just if it's true, Let us see. Netanyahu announced that based on the information he just received, it was a very good, successful attack as a start, but we are not over yet, So he reported a very successful attack. Let us see. You see what Netanyahu is saying, that they were expecting even Iran might attack Israel before Israel attacked them. So this is why they have done this before it's too late. Very good, very good.
With American President Donald Trump in the last few days and weeks that Iran was the main subject. We had also heard about major conversations, some even pretty hot and heavy in the cabinet, about between the Israeli military echelon and the political one. I do want to just give one update. We do have a statement, the first statement by President Trump since he was made aware, since these Israeli airstrikes began. Speaking to Fox News, he said, Iran cannot have a nuclear bomb, and we hope to see them returning to the negotiating table. As far as I know, the talks in Oman on Sunday are still on the schedule, the U.S.-Iran talks. We'll see, said Trump. There are some people in the leadership who won't return. This is clearly a commentary on the number of very top senior Iranian military officials and Iranian nuclear scientists that Israel managed to kill in the very first volleys of this strike.
Can I just ask you, how does Israeli domestic politics factor in these strikes at this particular time?
In a way, that's the...
All right. The news about attacking the refinery, we cannot confirm it yet. And for me, actually, I'm not expecting Israel to attack the refinery. Even the news, like the one I received, it says so. I think there is, if Israel attacked the refinery, that means they don't want just to hit and finish the job about the, the nuclear. And that will open the door for Iran to hit refineries of others like Saudi Arabia, Emirat, Bahrain, even maybe Qatar. So I don't think Israel would do that, but we will see. But for me, I'm not convinced that Israel will attack the oil refinery, because that will open the door to create a chaos for oil resource for many countries. That is not including USA, because we do not need the Middle East oil, we do not need it. But that will cause a problem for countries like India, China, Europe, etc., but not for America. But we will see. But until now, I don't see any official news about such an attack. Just to confirm that. Let's continue.
Take place without either U.S. okay or U.S. collaboration. But Netanyahu, for now, has managed to escape the specter of elections, and he remains extremely unpopular in Israel. It may be true that he was shaken in recent weeks by the possible vote coming up that could have toppled him from power, and I do believe that he thinks that this...
See, those are the lefty, they keep bashing their own government. So now, he is not attacking Iran to save his people from possible attack. No, no, no. He was shaking because his party might lose control. I mean, look how stupid. This is why they keep calling these women. BBC, French TV, all the official European TV, excuse my language, are nothing but piece of shit. Look at this woman bashing her own country during the time where she might die tomorrow. She's claiming that, I mean, shouldn't the Israeli, aren't you hit by tens of thousands of rockets and missiles from Iran already? So now Netanyahu is doing that for political reason? What an evil woman. And let us say, for the sake of argument, he is doing so. Shouldn't you, in the time of danger, you stand with your country no matter what? So you go on TV to bash the guy, to make Israel look bad? Because if she loves her country, she will not say anything will harm the reputation of her own army and her own nation. Because people, they don't care really for Netanyahu. All what they care now, they want to bash Israel. So you say, oh, Netanyahu is doing this war, not because Israel is at war, but because they are at risk. No, it's just for the sake of his own protection. Then that will hurt your country. This is how evil they lived. Pure evil. They are all from the same kind, no matter where they go. Their kind is shit. The shitty lift. Pure evil.
Ally to acknowledge that this strike was going to happen, but that once again the US was not involved in the strike, and he reiterated to this Middle East ally that the goal was still to get Iran back to the negotiating table. Remember, these talks are still ongoing in Muscat. This is going to be a significant end to these talks, which was meant to happen in the next couple of weeks. And we are also told that Steve Witkoff was going to be meeting with the Iranian foreign minister on Sunday in Muscat. It's unclear whether that will still happen. I've reached out to a source at the State Department, and they will be getting back to me as soon as they know more. But at the moment, Donald Trump will be talking this over with his national security team at 11 o'clock on Friday. That was meant to be a cabinet meeting. It's now turned to an NSC meeting. But Fox News is reporting that the president is still looking for that negotiation to continue. They also say that the president is looking to see if there will be a retaliation, and says that CENTCOM, that is the Central Command, which looks over all of that region for the US military. They say CENTCOM is on high alert, and the US is willing to defend itself and Israel if Iran does retaliate.
Thank you, Fraser. I'll just ask you to stay with us there for a moment. We'll go back to Tehran to Saeed Azimi. Saeed, we're just getting news in that the chief of staff of the Iranian armed forces, Mohammad Bagheri, has been killed in one of those strikes. Bagheri is clearly a very, very senior figure in the Islamic Republic.
Yes, he's Iran's top military official. He was Supreme Leader's trusted man in the military wing. And let me just explain one thing. Chief of General Staff of the Armed Forces is responsible to coordinate the military affairs between the IRGC and the army, because Iran has two military wings. So these two military wings are supervised by the Armed Forces of Iran. So Chief of Staff of the Armed Forces of Iran is the highest military position in Iran. And yesterday, Chief of General Staff of the Armed Forces, Major General Mohammad Bagheri, ordered the commencement of a massive series of exercises, military exercises in Iran that were combined with IRGC and the army, both in action. So we don't know the fate of these drills now. We don't know if they are stopped or not. But he was a key figure, and some say that he was not just a military general, he was also a diplomat, and he was very influential even in some domestic issues, such as the hijab law, as they say that he was more of a lenient person than a hardliner.
the foreign minister of Israel just announced that all what happened today is just started. This is just the beginning. This is not in any way, any mean, the like is done. We just started. Don't even count. All right. So this will take a few days, maybe more. We will see.
He's gone straight on to saying that, well, maybe the talks can still happen. Do you think possibly they're scrambling a little bit here?
No, to be honest, I mean, it's a surprising answer in a sense by Donald Trump, because indeed it is very muted, right? So he's still talking about these talks that are due on Sunday. The position, obviously, of the Americans is to say, right, this is not us. We did not want this strike. We are carrying on our path. And this could very well be something which is choreographed as well. Simply, if you look at the facts, what can Iran actually do now? I mean, chances are there will not be a massive barrage of missiles fired at Israel. Obviously, it could happen, but you can bet that at this stage, their military capacities are very crippled. What would be the outcome of a massive strike? That would be an even more massive retaliation of Israel and his allies, because once again, the Americans will definitely fall in line behind Israel and will come and help to defend its interests in the event of, I'd say, a very strong reaction by Iran. So Iran basically doesn't have many options here. And this is a situation we've already seen in the past. If you say what happened when Qasem Soleimani, for example, was killed. He was one of the top generals. This was back during the first Trump administration. Basically, Donald Trump ordered his assassination at an airport in Iraq. He just landed in Baghdad airport and his car was targeted by a missile. He was killed with the head of Ashd Shabi, which is one of the main Shia militias in the country. And basically, Iran vowed retaliation and said that there would be pain, etc. Very strong words. And then at the end of the day, they simply fired one missile at an airbase, which is on the western border of Iraq, which is US run, which is called Ain al-Assad, that I actually visited during a report for France 24. I mean, it's a huge sprawling base. They called the Americans before, and they basically made a hole in one of the runways. That's as far as it went. Then, more recently, if you take what happened in October, the Iranians fired 180 missiles at Israel, basically just enough to saturate the anti-missile systems of the country, but not enough to actually make any significant damage. Basically, usually what the Iranians do, they want to save face, and they also exert a form of restraint, because they know full well that if they do go full on, maybe they will this time, but it would potentially be the end of the regime, or indeed,
those people they are speaking in TV, they are outdated about the Israeli Air Force defense. They have a new system is implemented already, which is using laser, which is cost way less than the previous systems. So now they have those systems. I think there's 2 systems using laser. They are made to stop attack of a massive drone attack, and that goes the same for missiles. So the Israeli technology is highly powerful, and in the same time, the Iranians themselves, they knew that if they want to attack Israel, they should not attack Israel. To make it simple for you, the Iranian, in the front of their people, the regime, they will make themselves the same as they previously did, that you see, we retaliate, we are brave, we can do something. But in the same time, they will do their best not to do something really bad, because then they knew that the Israeli angry are not going to be the same as Israel now. Now, and they are not angry, and look what they did to you. So what about you made the bear injured? The bear will eat you alive, will rip you apart. So the Iranian, they knew their size. They knew they are limited. Like when I received news that the Israeli did attack the refinery, I did not really take this news as serious, because I think Israel will leave that part if something bad happened, because that will hurt Iran really bad. So They will not attack refinery because that will not make Trump happy. That will make many of their friends happy because simply that will affect not only Iran, will affect many of their neighbors, especially Europe. They will not, or India. So Israel will not do that. That will be only happening if Israel decide to really destroy Iran. It's like, okay, you did this, let me show you. For now, they will be focusing only in hitting what is needed to be hit. Not to hit economy, but to hit military. And if Iran is stripped from their ability to hit by military, then targeting the economy later is so easy if they want. As you see, they have a full control of the Iranian space and the airspace, and Iran is not able to shoot down not even one airplane. So the Israeli army, even so Israel is so far from Iran, it might be that even the Israeli fighter jet is flying from Saudi Arabia. So they can refuel. You see, Saudi Arabia in the appearance didn't have a relationship with Israel. But we knew very well that Saudi Arabia secretly, they have a lot of relationship with Israel. So I will not be surprised if the Saudis secretly, they are refueling, reloading all the ammunition, which means Israeli already they moved a lot of ammunition, possibly from the American warehouses in Saudi Arabia or Emirat, to a secret airport where the Israeli can load and shoot and come back so fast, because I don't know how long it takes for F-35 or 16 or whatever to fly all the way to Iran from Israel. But I don't think Israeli are using Israel airport to keep doing this. This will not be easy. It takes time, it's more risk. So it might be they are using maybe Azerbaijan airports. It's very highly possible. Or it might be they are using some secret airports in Saudi Arabia. Those news will not appear because the Saudi or even Azerbaijan will not dare to say we are the one who gave them airport, because that will make them in target with Iran, and they are neighbors to Iran. So they have to keep it secretly, but I don't think really Israel is flying all the way. I know they can do it. They can fly all the way from Israel, but that will be time consuming and maybe not too much practical, especially if they want to go for maybe 2 weeks, maybe 1 month war. You need the airplane to be around you, like in your country, not too far. So they can, instead of sending 300 jets in the sky to go and hit, they can use only 100, and they can use they can do the work of 300, because they can go shoot and load, reload so fast in less than 15 minutes. They go to Iran, like distance from Saudi Arabia to Iran by F-35, I don't think is going to be maybe 5 minutes, That will make it very easy. Like in 5 minutes, they go shoot, unload their weapon, their bombs, come back to Saudi Arabia, load again, and they are flying again.
This preemptive strikes in Iran. The paper also says that Israel is preparing for retaliation from Iran, rocket and drone attacks. An interesting part here in the article was when Haaretz wrote that, of course, the US formally expressed its opposition to the attacks and its participation, but the paper says that it remains unclear whether the US offered to share any intelligence or aerial refueling capacity, an option that would allow the White House to assist quote, while maintaining some sort of plausible deniability, writes the paper. Let's move to the Times of Israel that focuses on Mossad, which is, of course, Israel's national intelligence agency. It explains that it carried out covert sabotage operations against Iranian air defenses and missile facilities, plus other strikes, quote, at, quote, a number of locations across Iran.
And are they saying why the attack was launched right now?
So we have here a tweet by Yivka Klein, who is an editor at the Jerusalem Post. He quotes IDF chief of staff who said, "We launched the strike because the time had come. We reached the point of no return." And he adds, "History taught us when faced with threats to destroy us, we must never bow our heads." And we have here another analysis from the Jerusalem Post that tries to explain why Israel struck Iran. It says that Iran's ambitions are no longer hypothetical, and the danger is here, and the choice is either preemption or regret. The paper says that intelligence showed that Iran had enriched enough uranium to produce approximately 50 nuclear warheads and was actively conducting.
Thank you very much for that, Elitsa Kadeva. Now we'll return to that story shortly, but media reports in India say that one of two black box recorders has been recovered from the Air India flight, which crashed shortly after takeoff from Ahmedabad on Thursday. Investigators will be trying to determine what caused the Boeing 7878 Dreamliner, which was due to fly to London Gatwick, to crash. Authorities say at least 265 bodies have been recovered, which include people from the medical staff accommodation which the plane struck when it crashed. There was just one survivor among the passengers on board, a 40-year-old British national who'd been travelling with his brother. And Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi has visited Ahmedabad today. For more on this story, I can go to our New Delhi correspondent, Navodita Kumari. Good morning, Navodita. Can you tell us the latest about this crash?
Yeah, good morning to you too. Yeah, we are just a few meters away from the crash site.
You know, this is what happened when people they go and buy ticket in a cheap airlines. Never use Indonesian airline, Indian airline, Pakistan airline. Pakistan airline is the last one I would take forever. No way. Sri Lanka airline. I mean, you see, airline is a very, very, let us say, high risk business. And those countries, in order to make money, they don't do the right maintenance. In fact, what I learned, that most of those countries, the flight, they don't even do maintenance when they arrive to the airport. No, the flight, they would load again and they go. They keep going. Nobody check. The only thing they do, they just reload gas. There's no maintenance. So the airplane, God knows for how long, when the last time they have maintenance for it.